Hi friends, I'm Mary at Alaskan Homemaker. Today we're going to be making buttery pecan snowball cookies, butter tarts, and gingerbread cutouts. A lot of Christmas cookies. So let's get started. Okay, we need 1 cup of softened butter. So we're going to get that in the bowl. Okay, we need 1/2 cup of powdered sugar. We need 1/4 teaspoon of salt. We need 1½ teaspoons of vanilla. I have Mexican vanilla. I love Mexican vanilla. It smells so good. So 1½ teaspoons of the vanilla. Okay, and we're going to give this a mix. These are one of our favorite cookies. They're so delicious. Here we go. Okay, that looks good. And now we need 2 1/4 cups of flour. My oven is preheated to 350 degrees. There we go. We'll give this a mix. Okay, we need 1 cup of pecans, finely chopped up, so we're going to put that in our food processing. There's 1 cup. Okay, it's going to be loud. Okay, and here's what they look like. They're pretty fine. Okay, we're going to get our nuts, pecans into our bowl. Okay, and we're going to give this another mix. Okay, and that's what it looks like right now. Okay, and we've got our cookie sheet prepared with some parchment paper. I'm going to bring you guys a little closer. Okay. So I'm going to squish this together. Okay, and now I've got a cookie scoop, and we're going to get little balls made. Okay, now that I've got them all scooped out, now I'm going to form each one into a nice round ball. These shortbread cookies are so delicious. They're not overly sweet. They're just the right amount of sweetness. I love shortbread cookies. Okay, these are going to go in the oven for 11 to 13 minutes, and then we'll pull them out and we'll get our next sheet going. And our powdered sugar, when these come out, we toss them in powdered sugar while they're still warm. So we'll get these in the oven. We're going to get the 1 cup of powdered sugar ready to toss the pecan balls in when they come out of the oven. So we're going to put 1 cup in here. I'll bring you back when the cookies are out of the oven. Our cookies just came out of the oven. They were in the oven for a full 13 minutes. I just kept checking on them. They look good. And now we're going to give them a toss. We're going to get this set into the oven so it can start baking. And set that for 13 minutes. And then we have a little tray, little plate. And we're going to toss our little balls. They are still warm. You want to do it while it's still warm so that the powdered sugar will stick to them. And here's some of our buttery pecan snowball cookies. The recipe says you can toss them again once they've cooled down too. So we're going to get another tray of cookies going and I'll bring you back when we're all finished. We got 41 cookies from the size of cookie scoop that I have. And all our little pecan buttery snowball cookies are done. Let's give it a taste. Those are so delicious. You guys are going to love them. They're super good. Okay, I'm going to clean everything up and we're going to get ready for our butter tarts. I've got all the ingredients together for our butter tarts and we're going to get started. So for the crust, we need 2 cups of flour. We need 6 ounces of cream cheese. We need 1 cup of butter. Mix all this with our hands, clean hands. This butter tart recipe was my mother-in-law's recipe and it's a wonderful, delicious recipe. It's so good. I think butter tarts are a Canadian dessert. My mother-in-law was Canadian. My husband loves these butter tarts. Our whole family does. We're almost there. I just want all these dry bits to be incorporated. Just keep squeezing it together until it looks good. And it's looking good. There's a little bit of cream cheese that needs mixed in, but it turns into a great dough. This is a wonderful tart dough. Oops. Okay, this is looking really good. So we're going to get this back in our bowl and we're going to get the filling mixed up. Set that aside for a second. Okay, and into this bowl, I'm doing a large batch. My mother-in-law gave me the recipe for a small batch and a large batch, but I always make a large batch when I make these. I don't make them very often. They're definitely not diet food, but so I always make the large batch and not the small batch. This is 1 cup of butter, and we need 4 eggs. I buy some eggs from a lady in our church that has her own chickens. They're beautiful eggs. So I'm going to crack each one into a bowl before I put them in. And I'm going to save the eggs for my compost pile. So it's going to be 4 eggs that we're using today. Okay, and we need 1½ teaspoons of vanilla. And we need 1¼ cups of brown sugar. So here's 1, and here's a 1/4 cup. And there's a 1/4 cup. We're going to give this a stir. These are super simple to make, but they're so, so delicious. Okay, and my mother-in-law always put raisins in hers, and we always put raisins in ours too. And there isn't a specific amount, we just guess on the raisins whatever looks good. I will link all the recipes in the description below. Let's see how this looks. You just want a bit of raisins in every butter tart. I think that looks pretty good. Okay. And I use this little tart tray. There's 24 little tart spots on there, like a little mini muffin pan. And we're going to start rolling out our dough. You'll need a little flour. My oven is preheated to 325. I'm going to sprinkle some flour here. And I'm going to get about 1/3 of the dough because I don't want the other parts to dry out, because you know you're adding flour each time. So I'm just going to put the dough into thirds and then work with 1/3 at a time. For my cutter, I use one of our drinking glasses to cut these out. And it's the perfect size for those little tarts. And you want to get it thin, almost like a pie crust thickness. Okay. And then if you dip it in a little bit of flour before you stack them up, then they won't stick together. And then you can gather all the fragments back up and just re-roll them. Okay, and you can just keep on re-rolling. Okay, and we only have a little piece left, so I'm going to set that to the side. Okay, we're going to get our tart pan over here. And then we're going to get these, I just get those down in there. They're like cute little pies. Hope you can see that. Okay, I'm going to bring it over closer. So I'm just carefully getting them down into the little muffin cup. We're going to get a little spoon, one of your little regular spoons for soup, and we're going to get our filling, and we're going to start filling them up. So you can make sure to grab some of the raisin. And some of the filling. They do puff up a little bit when they're in the oven, but then when they come out then and cool off, they start going back down a little bit, kind of like a souffle. I'm going to grab my measuring cup. I think it'll be easier to fill these with. And maybe make less of a mess. Maybe, maybe not. I'm gonna use this paper towel and clean this up a bit. That way it's a little bit less messy and won't bake on there. There we go. So it's gonna go into a 325-degree oven for 30 minutes. And I'll bring you back when they're done. Our butter tarts came out of the oven, and you do want to get them out of the little tart pan right away. I use a spoon, just a regular soup spoon that you would use to go on the edge of it and scoop it out of the little muffin tin. I'm sorry, but I thought I was recording that part and I wasn't. These are so delicious. They're like cute little tiny pies. Y'all are gonna love this recipe. It makes 48 of the tarts for the big batch, and then for a small batch, it makes 24. I'm gonna get the gingerbread ingredients together and we'll get started on the gingerbread cutouts. We're ready to start our gingerbread cutouts. I'm getting the recipe from this book. I've had this book since I was married, and it's a well-loved book. Right in the cookie section, you can see that it is split right where the cookie section is. So I carefully keep it together. So I will list this in the Amazon links below in the description box, because I'm going to do the gingerbread recipe from this book and also the icing recipe for the gingerbread cutouts. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to do our dry ingredients first. We need 2.5 cups of flour. We need 1/2 cup of sugar. One teaspoon of ginger. Half a teaspoon of cinnamon and cloves. I'm using Ceylon cinnamon. Here's our ground cloves. Half a teaspoon of baking soda. Need 1 teaspoon of baking powder. We're going to add our wet ingredients and our shortening. So we need 1/2 cup of shortening. I have my oven preheating to 375. We're going to put 1 egg and 1 tablespoon of vinegar. And 1/2 cup of molasses. We're going to give this a mix. My house smells so good today with all these cookies baking. I'm going to use my hand to mix this up now. We're almost there. Gonna pull the dough out now. Just knead this a little bit. Here's our cookie sheets, and I'm going to line those with parchment paper. Got some parchment paper here, and I've got my baking sheets lined with parchment paper, and I'm going to put a little flour. I think I'm going to do half of the dough at a time, that way it doesn't get over floured. Okay, we'll put that there. We need about a 1/4 inch thickness for the cutout people. I found this awesome gingerbread house. It's like a tiny gingerbread house, and there's no wasted space. All the walls, the roof pieces, and everything are all on here. So in one press, you get every single piece that you need for your little tiny gingerbread house. This is awesome. So I'll link this down below in the Amazon links. I've got a little gingerbread man. When you do put these on the cookie sheet, you want there to be a little space in between, because they'll rise up a little bit. Okay, and now we're going to re-roll this out. Just keep rolling out your scraps. Don't want to waste any of them. Okay, we're going to bake these for 6 to 8 minutes. So we're going to get our first batch into the oven. Both of these trays. My oven racks are in the middle of the oven. I'm going to set it for 8 minutes and keep an eye on it. I have a mousse cookie cutter too. This leg keeps wanting to break, so I'm going to use a chopstick to hopefully help it not break this time. There we go. I think it worked. We did it. Hopefully that's not too close. Okay, we're going to get these in the oven. I'll bring you back when the cookies are finished. We're going to make the icing now for our gingerbreads. We need 1 cup of shortening. We need 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. We need 4.5 cups of powdered sugar. Three to 4 tablespoons of milk. I'm going to go ahead and put 2 tablespoons of milk in. I'm going to put 2 more tablespoons of milk in. Okay, I think that's a good consistency to be able to decorate the gingerbreads with. So we're going to go with that. We're going to decorate our gingerbreads.